mass destruction, mass killing, massacres, and genocide will take place during this time, and this is a clear sign of the end of time. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another episode of Science of End of Time. This is Prophecy 5. Rasul predicted 1400 years ago about what's going on the current time now, and this will leave you in astonishment that Rasul were predicted 1400 years ago are coming to be true now. And one of them is in a hadith narrated by Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu, Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu, qala qala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, la taqumu as-sa'atu hatta yakthura al-harju. The Qiyamah will not be established, the final hour will not be established until there are lots of al-harj. Qila wa ma al-harju. He was then asked, what is al-harj? Qala, he then said, al-qatlu. In another narration, this is from Muslim, in another narration from Bukhari, Rasul mentions this al-qatl twice, meaning killing, massacre. Now let's look at the history and also what's going on in our current time. Why do we need to say that? This is what's happening now. Gives us clear indication of the end of time. The reason is what's happening now hasn't happened in human history till Rasulullah's time until now. So we see that in the last century, when there was an Armenian massacre took place, genocide took place in 1915 till 1917, where 1.5 million people were killed. And in Rwandan genocide, 1994, where 800,000 people were killed in just 100 days. So if you calculate one single day, there were 8,000 people killed. And in human history, there were more massacres happened. You are aware of the Holocaust done by Hitler on the Jewish people, where 6 million people were killed and 11 million people were literally displaced. They had to leave Europe. This is what Hitler did during Hitler's time in 1941 and 1945. This is what happened. So in human history, if you see that this century, 21st century, and the last leg of 19th century, if we see that what's happening are all indications of this al-qatl, what Rasulullah said, al-harj. Rasulullah mentioned 1400 years ago, remember, bear in mind. So now come to the question, where it comes to the question of the people of Gaza, when they are experiencing genocide, they are being starved to death, and they are, when queuing up for food, very shamefully. This is a shame on humanity. This is a shame on people who are living on the bosom of earth, where civilized people live, and they can see that on broad daylight. They are being massacred. They are being crushed like ants when they are queuing up for food. So this is what's happening now on broad daylight. We see that in Gaza and also in Uyghur, what happened back in 2017 and which is going on now. In Myanmar, back in 2017, and in the present time, it's still going on. The massacre happening, and what's happening in more other places, you name, Bosnian genocide back in 1992 to 1995. Lots of genocides are taking place. What also mentions the al-harj, al-qatl he mentions twice. Another thing, there comes the question, a burning question, whether this genocide that's happening in Gaza is a genocide, which is ridiculously presented by some very, mindless people who are backing, who are brazenly supporting. However, this is what's happening on the face of earth. We can see. Now let's go for the detailed clarification about genocide. If we look at UN Genocide Convention 1948, where genocide has been defined as acts committed with intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnical, racial, or religious group. So what's happening in Gaza? Isn't it an intent to destroy a group who are Muslims? Now, come to another expert, Omar Bartov. Just a day before yesterday, or a couple of days ago, he had an interview with Piers Morgan where he clearly says, this is Omar Bartov, a genocide expert, an IDF soldier, former IDF soldier. He says that this is what's going on. He challenged to the people of Israel and those who are Zionists, who are backing Israel and IDF. He said this is a clear genocide. There are lots of more examples that we can present. We can present from the people who have been supporting Israel and IDF. Now we can see from Dr. Gabor Mat, a Hungarian-born Holocaust survivor. He says that this is a clear genocide in an interview with this stream and then with also Piers Morgan. And another famous expert, Norman Finkelstein, he is a child of Holocaust survivor parents. He says Israel is guilty of genocide. Another famous expert, Ilan Pappé, he says what Israel commits in the Gaza Strip is genocide by legal definition. He's an Israeli and Jewish historian. Now we can see it's clearly a genocide, mass destruction, dehumanizing and displacing people by using starvation as a weapon to kill them. So people are being starved to death. Even when people are queuing up for food, they are being stampeded to death. This is what's happening. So we can see what Rasul predicted 1400 years ago. We can clearly see it's happening now. So we are in the end of time. So in the end of time, science of this one science of time where Rasul says that al-harju. And what is al-harju? It's al-qatlu, mass destruction, mass killing, massacres, and genocide will take place in this time. And this is a clear sign of the end of time. Stay with me for more videos coming. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.